A work ute and a lifestyle ute might share the exact same body, but buying one for leather seats and a large infotainment screen ignores what a working vehicle actually needs to survive. Choosing the most expensive dual-cab trim is often the first financial mistake. That flagship model starts with less payload, and adding decorative sports bars and big wheels only makes it worse. This chart shows exactly how total gross vehicle mass disappears. By the time you bolt on a heavy steel bull bar, a winch, a canopy, and a dual battery drawer system, you have mathematically consumed your legal payload before you load a single tool. You also cannot rely on the odometer to tell you how hard the vehicle has worked. A low kilometer reading often hides a brutal life. A ute that spends hours idling on a mining site or completing short, constant trips in thick dust and mud suffers extreme engine wear that a clean interior can easily disguise. A vehicle run near its maximum combination mass, dragging heavy trailers day after day, will quietly degrade its transmission and clutch long before the mileage looks worrying. The fix is often stripping away the dead weight. Single cab, extra cab, and cab chassis variants give you significantly more tray space and payload by removing the unnecessary equipment. For a used ute to make sense as a genuine business asset, you have to calculate its value based strictly on durability, payload configurations, part support, and the specific mechanical risks you can verify at inspection. At number 5 is the 2016 to 2020 Mahindra Pik-Up. It runs a 2.2-liter M-Hawk turbo diesel, and it is incredibly basic, which is exactly why its purchase price is drastically lower than its Japanese competitors. But that upfront discount introduces a serious whole-of-life cost trap. Parts supply, dealer access, and workshop familiarity are wildly inconsistent.
If you need a vehicle for a national fleet, those delays are a massive liability. If you are looking at one for local agricultural work, you need to check the 6-speed manual closely. Heavy towing on a farm will wear out the clutch and dual-mass flywheel much earlier than the kilometers suggest. You have to test every single gear, both cold and fully warm. Damaged synchros will make a work ute frustrating to operate, even if it physically still moves. If you operate an isolated local property and have a nearby mechanic who knows the vehicle, it is a highly effective, low-cost asset. If your business depends on guaranteed nationwide uptime, look elsewhere. Coming in at number 4 is the 2012 to 2020 Isuzu D-Max RT. This ute built a legendary reputation almost entirely on the familiarity and durability of its 3.0-liter 4JJ1 diesel engine. Buying one requires a strategic choice around the 2017 update. The earlier 5-speed models offer simpler emission systems, which suits work sites with lots of idling. The later 6-speed versions add a DPF, which demands regular highway speeds to avoid failure. The engine's reputation, however, often distracts buyers from a much larger structural vulnerability. This diagram highlights how the chassis handles stress. Long-term exposure to heavy corrugations, especially when carrying a heavy steel bull bar, concentrates force at the front. This regularly causes hidden cracking in the D-Max's inner guards and engine bay structure. To get the best out of a D-Max, you have to match the specific production year to your exact work cycle and inspect the chassis welds just as thoroughly as the engine. Number 3 is the 2015 to 2021 Mitsubishi Triton, MQ and MR. Right now, this offers some of the strongest used value in the entire market. It is physically shorter overall than its major competitors. When you're navigating cramped construction sites and tight urban streets, that shorter wheelbase becomes a significant operational advantage. You also do not need the flagship dual cab. A simpler GLX trim with smaller wheels and a proper tray provides far better daily utility for a 2-person trade crew. The 2.4-liter diesel is reliable, provided you check the paperwork. Valve clearances must be inspected at specified intervals, and tight valves do not make noise. You need physical invoices proving the work was done. You also need to watch how the Triton is loaded. Because the frame is shorter, fitting an oversized tray or a heavy canopy creates dangerous leverage behind the rear axle, increasing stress on the chassis. If you verify the valve maintenance and avoid poorly balanced aftermarket trays, the Triton stands out as a highly effective budget tool for urban trades. At number 2 is the 2017 to 2020 Holden Colorado RG facelift. The brand's exit from the Australian market triggered massive depreciation for these vehicles. That depreciation is exactly where the business advantage lies. you can secure a 2.8-liter diesel that produces immense torque and handles heavy towing for a fraction of the cost of a Ranger or HiLux. But those massive savings come with a strict condition. You have to scrutinize the automatic transmission. Heavy towing without an auxiliary cooler leads directly to torque converter shudder and valve body wear. You also need an itemized invoice proving the timing belt has been replaced at the exact required interval, along with the associated tensioners. The Colorado is a genuine ROI triumph on paper, but to guarantee that value, you must have the transmission independently verified while fully warm and confirm you still have a local specialist to support it. Taking the number 1 spot is the 2015 to 2020 Toyota HiLux N80. In the right configuration, its primary business advantage is the unparalleled support ecosystem that comes with the badge. You will pay a high initial purchase price for the badge. The BAP Premium buys you nationwide parts supply, a workshop in every regional town that understands the engine, and exceptional resale demand when it is time to upgrade. That doesn't mean the vehicle is flawless. The early 2.8-liter diesel suffered from severe diesel particulate failures, leading to heavy smoke and constant regeneration issues. Before purchasing, you must demand a diagnostic scan to check the DPF loading history and verify that the applicable software updates and manual regeneration switch have been installed. When you strip away the hype and check the DPF history, the HiLux remains the safest overall business investment, simply because it drastically reduces operational risk across the country. Every Ute on this list serves a specific mathematical purpose. The HiLux buys ecosystem security, the Triton maximizes urban value, the Colorado offers discounted torque, the D-Max relies on engine familiarity, and the Mahindra handles farm work. To get the math right, define the job before you choose the cab. Buying a dual cab just to put toolboxes on the back seat instantly wastes tray space and essential payload. This graphic illustrates how quickly payload vanishes. Weigh the actual vehicle with its heavy tray, bull bar, and driver to find what you can actually carry. Placement also matters. Weight positioned far back acts as leverage, dangerously lightening front wheels even if total weight is legal. Next, align your service intervals to your specific environment. Hours of idling, constant short trips, and breathing fine dust will accelerate mechanical wear much faster than smooth highway kilometers. Which brings us to the final rule. A real work Ute should be selected by legal payload, support, and condition, not by leather seats, black wheels, or a famous badge. At the end of the day, a commercial Ute is a mathematical asset. When the numbers work out, your business keeps moving forward.